So our Big Five segments. I don't know why people are complaining about the Week 18's weekend. You're going to have some important stuff this weekend. Some of it's decided, but some of it is still up in the air. So as well. So let's go over Week 17. We're definitely going to get to baseball here. Talk a little Hall of Fame. How apropos last night in the open mic we were talking about Hall of Fame that's coming up. Terrell Suggs, Marshall Yannon, most notable Ravens are eligible for the Hall of Fame. But interesting discussion. Definitely, if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. Talking about who's eligible for the Hall of Fame this year, who should and shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. They like Jason Witten more than I like him for the Hall of Fame. I didn't. I can't help you with that. Eli Manning is super interesting as far as the Hall of Fame. So definitely check that out. So last week, Big Five. As far as the top games on the schedule, Texans over the Chargers. Texans actually were made into the playoffs as well. Texans, I think that might be the best defense in the league. They've looked good every time I've seen them. I haven't seen a bad Texans on defense all season long. Offensively, they don't always show up. Defensively, they're going to be in every game. So definitely, too, that thing is built around defense as well. Chargers, I don't think too much out of the loss. I kind of put them in San Fran in the same category. The fact that they're there is incredible considering all the injuries they've had. Chargers, they'll be in the playoffs as well, so they'll get another shot. Definitely, but the Texans, it was a bigger game. Texans still have division aspirations and all that, etc. Seahawks and Panthers as well. Seahawks just have a better football team than Carolina does. Carolina still has a shot to win the division. We know what the formula is. Seahawks, I think, are a complete team. It's just, do you believe in Darnold at quarterback? Somebody better start saying all these jokes about Darnold. He's been pretty good the last 2 years. Like, let's give him some respect. This team might wind up with the number 1 seed here. So let's give Darnold. Let's absolutely give Darnold some respect. Eagles and the Bills. I kind of didn't think anything differently of either team. We know how good Josh Allen is as well. Not his best day, and so the Bills didn't win. Eagles, I don't know what happens to their offense sometimes. They just kind of don't have it all the time. I don't know why. I don't know exactly what's going on with A.J. Brown and Barkley. It seems weird. I don't know exactly what's happening. The line isn't as good, but they won. So I still think the Eagles can absolutely win the Super Bowl. No question about it. I definitely think Josh Allen, if you have him on the field, you have a shot. Absolutely outstanding game. The Bears and the 49ers. The 49ers, to me, they're unbelievable. Their offense doesn't really look like they missed a beat at all. Kittle didn't play. Purdy was outstanding in the game. Caleb was, I think, decent. Not as good as Brock Purdy. McCaffrey was outstanding. Ricky Pearsall, I think, is an excellent number 1 receiver, even without Ayuk. They didn't have Trent Williams. And they scored 42 points with a bunch of guys. The job Robert Saleh is doing is fantastic, considering that as well. Bears defense is still, to me, a bit of a fraud in some ways. It's not consistent every week in terms of what they do as well. Did I get on that? And yes, end of the road for Phillip Rivers here. It looks like that was the last one. Jaguars and Colts ended the run for Phillip Rivers here as well. He actually did retire again. They're going to play Riley Leonard because the Colts are out of contention. And so they're just go ahead and might as well start Riley Leonard, who's healthy enough to play. All right. Big Five this week. This is another winner take all. I think this is definitely for the division. These two teams definitely aren't as good when it comes to. Real quick, Purdy is the highest PFF football since he's returned from injury. That, I agree, Kenny, that looked like Brock Purdy on the last game Sunday night. That looked like the guy I remember early in the year with all the injuries. He has that. Eagles aren't running it as much, and I don't know why. I don't know what the problem is with the Eagles, why they're not running the football as well. This year's a mini rebuild. I think so. That could be right. Sometimes you got to tear it back down here as well. All right. Saturday, 4:30, Panthers and Bucs. The winner of this game goes on and wins the NFC South. These are just not great teams. But somebody is going to win the division. The Bucs have really just total free fall here as well. They haven't won any games except for the Panthers here as well. So, I mean, they lost to Miami last week, lost to Atlanta, lost to New Orleans. They did beat Carolina, but the good teams, the Rams beat them. Now they have had a bit of a tough schedule. I think that's contributed to it, but they've been a total free fall, I think, as well. But they are getting the game at home, very similar to the Ravens game in that sense. They're getting the game at home, and I think that matters. Carolina, I love Carolina. They have no players, but I love the formula. Bryce Young totally taking the ball out of his hands. The Bucs should know what the deal is. Their run defense is struggle, but you better stop the run if you're going to beat them because they're going to run the ball a lot in this game. I'm going to take Carolina in this game. I am. I think I know what I'm getting with Carolina. They are going to run the football. I think they are going to show up. I think they were overmatched, against the Seattle team last week. The Bucs have just – I can't do it. I mean, they've really just not shown up. They could have really used that win last week, and they were lucky that the Panthers lost. So I think the Panthers actually win the South. This one, big stakes in this one. The 49ers and the Seahawks. In this one, the winner of this game gets the number 1 seed in the NFC. So, especially for San Fran, like it was mentioned in the broadcast last week, San Fran wins this game, they get to put the suitcases away. So they're going to have the home field throughout the whole NFC, and the Super Bowl is in San Francisco. So if they can win this game, they can do all of that as well. The Seahawks, I think, have a better team than the Niners do. But I got to tell you, I'm getting tired of picking against the Niners all season long because it doesn't make sense in terms of, I hate to keep saying that, but it just doesn't make sense on defense, especially how you keep pulling this off. Last week, no George Kittle in the game. No Trent Williams, your best offensive player. They scored 42 points. They were dominant. Last few weeks, 49ers, 42, 48, 37, 26, and 20 over a good Panthers defense, 41. They're scoring. So that's the one thing as well. Defensively, even with the deficiencies, it hasn't mattered because they're scoring so many points as well. Baker's shoulder is not right, and I don't believe in the Panthers. I'm taking Tampa, though it's crazy. And if we go position by position, I think the Niners are in this game. Purdy, CMC, the best quarterback, or running back, whenever receiver is way better. Seattle only has JSN, better tight end. I'm taking the Niners. I'm taking the Niners, not just because of what he said, but the Niners, I think, their offense is incredibly underrated. They are really scoring a lot of points, and that's why I brought up all those scores, because they are just scoring a lot of points in these games, and that is it. Seahawks, I think, have a good defense. I do think Darnold is not nearly as good on the road. I mean, we've seen that. I think Darnold I think all of his stuff that people make fun of, I think is in road games. I do think this, but this is close. Seattle is really good. I don't know if it's going to go that way in the playoffs, but in this one, I do like the Niners. Niners have a lot to play for too, as well in this one. The winner, obviously, too, gets the bye in the NFC, and the loser has the wild card in that division. So this is a really good division that has 3 teams that are in the wild card. Real quick here, Colts and Texans. Texans still with a little bit to play for. They eliminated the Colts last week, so this could have been for more. But the Texans did go into Los Angeles and win. So the Texans are already in. They still can win the division if the Jags lose and they win. Jags are unlikely to lose. They're playing Tennessee. They should win. But there is something to keep an eye on here with the Texans as well. Colts, get rid of Chris Ballard. Get rid of Chris Ballard. He's not a coach as well. Robert Saleh is a true factor in the game. He made lemonade with lemons this year. Warner, Bosa, first round pick, tight end from Georgia. I think that's putting it mildly. What you're saying that Saleh and Kyle Shanahan have made lemons without lemonade. They're gonna have they might have the number 1 seed with the most injuries in the league. Let that process. They've had the best in a better NFC than the AFC. They're going to have 3 teams in that division win double-digit games, and they're going to have the number 1 seed overall. Impressive. Former DC has made the Texans a force. Absolutely right. Dolphins and the Patriots. Patriots, again, unlikely to go ahead and win the number 1 seed. They can get it if they beat the Dolphins and a Denver loss as well. So definitely something to play for. This is going to be going on at the same time as the other game. Dolphins, I'm kind of thinking this is it for Mike McDaniel. Some people think he's going to stay. I do think they just might as well tear it down. They got rid of Chris Greer. They're going to bring in a new GM. I don't think there's a reason to keep Mike McDaniel around. I think, as well. Patriots win this game. I think they need to. Dolphins really don't do well in cold weather late. Broncos and the Chargers. Broncos have everything to play for, so a lot of those guys are going to be playing. They're going to be playing for the number 1 seed, which is they're going to have the bye. Now, 7 teams in the playoffs, 1 bye, huge. Broncos, I think, do win this game. Chargers, I think, are going to be resting place as you should. You're not going to win the division. You're not going to get the bye. You're going to be on the road. You want your team as healthy as possible. They've had a lot of injuries this year. Broncos have everything to play for as well. Chargers also, too, I don't think you want to show them too much. I think their game plan will be vanilla as well. There you go. Mike McDaniel's probably on his way out back to the Niners. That's very possible. Very possible that he could be on his way back. I think Miami fared better with a healthy Tyreek. I don't. I think they're about, and with all due respect to Tyreek, I think he's about 7-9. I think that's where they live. All right. Thank you guys for that. And definitely to the last Big 5 of the regular season that we have. So definitely check out all the games as well. So definitely check out all the games as well. 5 biggest games on the schedule. All right.